The Legend of Zelda, one of the most beloved games of all time, created by the video game mastermind Shigeru Miyamoto. Many people like me grew up with Zelda and love the game like no other. I carry fond memories of Zelda, and the first game I ever played was actually Ocarina of Time at 3 years old. It helped me learn how to read at a younger age than most, but sadly, after playing it more and more, the game that defined 3D Zelda won't be making it into this list. The Wind Waker. When this game first came out, so many people were disappointed in the art style, mainly because it's totally different from what Nintendo showed us when they first announced they were making a new Zelda title. Personally, I wasn't old enough to remember the announcement of Wind Waker, and so my opinion of the game and its graphics are unbiased because I didn't have expectations when I first played it. I love the game as a whole. The graphics didn't bother me one bit. It has wonderful gameplay, and I love how the story ties into Ocarina of Times. That being said, the main reason why this wonderful game only made it to the number 5 spot is because of all the damn sailing. I mean, come on, it almost ruined the game, but all in all, you can't be too harsh on it. It was pretty amazing. Majora's Mask. Arguably one of the better Zelda games out there, loved mostly for its mature theme and darker undertones. To me, and many other people apparently, Majora's Mask was even better than its predecessor, Ocarina of Time. From the first encounter of Skull Kid to the fight with the Majora's Mask itself, this game was truly a masterpiece. And what makes it even more impressive is the fact that it was developed in a single year. And here we are waiting for 6 years for Breath of the Wild? Come on, Nintendo. A Link to the Past was the first defining Zelda game. Its gameplay is extraordinary, building off the original's mechanics well, and was what defined what Zelda should be. It was a fantastic experience from start to finish. The puzzles were great, the enemies were tough, and the introduction of the Dark World mechanic was incredible. 7 stages, 3 pendants, 2 worlds, 1 adventure. It was truly a great game to say the least. Twilight Princess, an amazing game, has always been one of my favorites. Making it to the number 2 spot of my top 5 favorite Zelda games of all time, it really left an impression on me. Twilight Princess was my favorite Zelda game of all at the time of its release, leaving me yearning for more of its kind. It really followed the gameplay style of Ocarina of Time, the defining 3D Zelda game, well. Its graphics were phenomenal for its time, and it played off the idea of having a parallel world, the Twilight Realm, like in A Link to the Past with the Dark World. I also love the wolf mechanic introduced as well. It really made the game interesting, no matter how weird it was seeing Link being bossed down by a little demon girl from the Twilight Realm. Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure Minda was the only companion character people actually liked. They really made her a great, interesting character, something they failed to do in Ocarina of Time, and that again with Skyward Sword. A Link Between Worlds. Wow, that was unexpected. I'm just as shocked as you probably are. When I first heard about this game, I thought it was a terrible idea. The new painting mechanic was fun and new, however my first thought was that the name Lorule seemed to come straight out of fanfiction, but they managed to make the story interesting and I wound up loving the game to bits. It was fun playing a direct sequel to A Link to the Past, using an entirely new parallel world, separate from the Dark World, yet still managing to make the story original without it seeming forced. When I first played it, I expected nothing but a pitiful excuse of a Zelda game, but I was blown away. I was weirded out by the item rental system at first, though. I thought it would ruin the excitement of discovering what new weapon you'd find in the next dungeon, but they still managed to make dungeon spoils interesting with things like the Master Ores and clothing that boost your defense. Another thing I found interesting was the item upgrading system with the Maya-Mayas, a great improvement from Link to the Past where only a few specific items could be upgraded. All in all, A Link Between Worlds was an unexpectedly amazing game, and I was shocked that I loved it so much. Everything about it was just wonderful. Thanks everyone for listening to me throw my opinion at you for a while. Most of them you probably don't agree with, namely the inclusion of A Link Between Worlds and the exclusion of Ocarina of Time. Anyway, I appreciate if you stuck around this long. If you liked the video, well, you know what to do, and if you want to see more, subscribe, because there's sure to be more great gaming related content coming soon.